The Arcturian people. Hello. Thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. I am Marie. Welcome to my channel. This information can be viewed as science fiction, or interpreted as each viewer sees fit, and I share it for entertainment purposes only. However, I take my information very seriously for those who have the insight to understand. I am writing this on the morning of April 2nd, 2025. There are certain star races that I hesitate to discuss because I believe they have a significant number of fans, followers, or enthusiasts on Earth who base their admiration on New Age teachings, where they are portrayed as perfect beings. I deeply respect how they are seen, because they serve as valuable examples of how a highly ethical and highly advanced civilization should be. Yet knowing them firsthand, as is my case, things tend to be a little different, or a lot different from how those star races are depicted by the New Age movement. Therefore, a lot of controversy can come out of these kinds of subjects even when I am only sharing my first-hand perspective about them. And that is exactly what I am doing, sharing how I see them, and what I know about them for whoever this information is useful for, with no intention of bursting any admiration bubble anyone may have about them. The Arcturians are depicted by the New Age movement, and by several other authors and channelers as very tall, perfect anthropomorphic beings, mostly with porcelain white or light blue skin, and with facial features which are perfect examples of Western beauty standards. They are said to be peaceful beings of light, spiritual guides and great builders of anything and everything that can be constructed. Once more, I must say that there is a strong density, dimensional or existential realm discrepancy here, where I do not doubt that any of these beings, or those of whatever species, may be as described by them, but in, or from the perspective of higher existential realms, because we also know that they tend to present themselves in the best physical form or shape that is according to the expectations of who they may be talking to. This tendency is quite common to all beings of light and is widely accepted and known, because that is how they bypass the prejudices of the receivers of their teachings, as they probably would not pay them enough attention or give them credibility if they knew how ugly they really were. Ugly from the beauty standards of humanity on Earth, of course, and for example. The Arcturians would be the perfect example of what I am saying, because at least from the perspective of the physical world, they are very physically different from how they are described by the New Age movement and by other authors and channelers, and much of their behavior is also quite different. Arcturians are not members of the human Lyrian family of star races, as their genetics are unique to them, quite extraterrestrial from the point of view of the expectations of half-matrixed Earth researchers and scientists. They have much more in common with a frog than with human beings, yet their genetics are considered to be something similar to a hybrid species with some amphibian DNA in them. They are short, rarely growing over 140 centimeters, with very short legs and long arms with 4 fingers in each hand. Their head is huge for the size of their bodies, with a very large watermelon-shaped cranium, with large almond-shaped dark eyes and a super large mouth that feels as if it were from ear to ear in length, and thin lips. Their ears are nearly non-existent, as is their nose, which is extremely small and looks like a small, long lump between their eyes. Their skin is very amphibian in appearance and is usually dark purple with darker areas or spots around it, although some can be deep blue or brown blue, depending on the subspecies, of which 3 exist. They are the Kaal'el, the Devonians, and the Diaslientiplex, which are the most common species, and the ones most involved with Earth and its affairs. The Kaal'el are the subspecies that grows the tallest of the 3 and is usually found with a light blue skin with dark spots. The Devonians are the smallest of the 3 subspecies, and the rarest to find, at least in this area of space we are all in. The Devonians have nothing to do with the inhabitants of Devon, England, just saying. They do not have genders, they are neither male nor female, and they reproduce in a very unique and strange way. They have a pouch in their lower abdomen, not dissimilar to that of a kangaroo, where a little clone slowly develops, giving many Arcturians a distinctive pot belly that progressively grows with them, and gets larger as they age. It is easy to calculate the biological age of any of the 3 Arcturian subspecies, simply by looking at how large a pot belly they have. When they grow old, not in years, but in biological development, they will have such a large pot belly that they mostly retreat into their homes and are taken care of by their kin while they go through their passing on stages, or however you want to call that which they go through. The little genetic clone of the original ends up eating the comatose adult from the inside via the placenta-like appendix they have, and which attaches it through its development, and breaks out of the pouch, tearing through the thin skin of the adult. The young, baby Arcturian is by now almost 1/3 the size of a fully grown one, and is born fully aware and independent because its consciousness is the same one of the adult. I mean the adult rebirths itself, transferring its consciousness into the young one, therefore not having to go through the long process of being in the afterlife, and then reincarnating as the rest of us do. Arcturians jump the reincarnation cycle with this icky biological cheat procedure, and only reincarnate, if and when, the cycle is broken, for example, when one of them dies in an accident. There are many things we don't understand about Arcturian reproduction, as the question of where they would reincarnate, if all the babies are spoken for, arises immediately. What I have been able to find is that they have twins sometimes, or even triplets, and that is where other Arcturian souls come into physicality from the afterlife, as described by the Galactic Federation official archives about Arcturians. They also accept to artificially clone bodies so their wandering souls can come into physicality again. Once the clone is ready, they are called in, or summoned by incredibly long and complex Arcturian rituals. Even though their reproduction is complex and very alien to us, human Lyrians, there appears to be no shortage of Arcturians and their variants, as they can be found all over the galaxy. Arcturians are great space dwellers, explorers, and travelers, and are responsible for mapping great unknown areas of space, and are very generous with their star maps as they easily share them with other star races. As they are a very ancient star race, they have accumulated great knowledge and wisdom, which they also share with whoever is interested, thus giving them the status of guides, spiritual leaders, and holders of cosmic knowledge. Many also call the Great Logos. They are very good at astral traveling, and at projecting their minds from afar, thus making them easy to channel, because as far as I have been able to research, they do enjoy engaging in such activity as they see it as non-invasive, as seeding their knowledge without taking any credit for it. Arcturians, mostly from the Diaslientiplex branch, along with the Andromedans and the human Lyrians from Vega, are the 3 original star races that created the Galactic Federation, and this is why the Federation's emblem has 3 main stars in it. Although Arcturians dwell all over the galaxy, especially in this galactic quadrant, their place of origin is said to be planet Ptola, which orbits the giant red star Arcturus, from where they get their name, and which is only 36.7 light-years from Earth, in the region of the Boötes constellation. Their language is called Enza-Exarati. I'll leave how it is spelled on your screen, as the speech generator will not do a good job pronouncing that. It is verbal telepathic, although Arcturians mostly communicate fully telepathically among each other. There is another variant of their language, which is simply referred to as Carendian. Arcturians are also known to be great builders, and they are experts on super large craft, including spherical biosphere ships, and are said to be the ones who helped the Andromedans build their super large starships, including the Viera. Their preferred shape for starships is the sphere, but they also use what I call science fiction complex shapes, discoidal and even oval-shaped starcraft. Up to now, I have portrayed only the good parts of the Arcturian people, but they do have another side to them. They are very good friends with the Andromedan people, and therefore also share some of their bad habits, such as being very permissive towards what is happening on Earth, all in the name of not creating karma for themselves, and in the name of letting Earth humans develop ethically, spiritually, and in consciousness by themselves, as according to them it is the only way Earth humans will truly learn from their mistakes, and not repeat them. You know where I stand with this, as humans cannot develop anything for themselves if they are being abused and misled at the same time. But as many have said, that is why living on Earth is the hardest test for any soul, as it has to find its way home on its own, despite all the abuses and distractions there. Arcturians can also be quite aggressive among themselves, and are also known to use coarse words in their language. Bad words are not exclusive to human Lyrians and Urmah felines who copy them. As Ari the tiger said, that is weaponizing language, and you must know how to use them wisely, as words carry great strength. In an anecdote from Swaruu of Era, when she was based in a hangar inside the Andromedan biosphere ship Viera, she once saw a medium-sized Arcturian starship with an extra cargo appendix on its top try to enter the hangar level she was in, and the ship did not fit, so it wedged itself between the ceiling and the floor, getting stuck there. The little purple Arcturian beings came out of their ship wearing their tight little spacesuits to see the damage. They were very angry, turning a deeper hue of purple, and they were yelling at each other in their incomprehensible language, speaking incredibly fast, and swearing at each other, blaming one another for the incident. You don't need to speak their language to know they are swearing because it sounds harsher, and because the reactions of the other Arcturians were extreme, quite full of anger after those were spoken. As you can see, they can be quite temperamental, yet I can only imagine that situation, and I find it extremely funny. They do have big mouths after all. This will be all for today. As always, thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. It helps this channel grow a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love and appreciation, your friend, Marie.